Hey gang, welcome to Writing 121. As you know, I'm your instructor Kirk, and I'm just going to walk you through a couple things here. I'm going to be checking out my computer right along with you. So, intro to week one, we got that snapshot calendar. You definitely want to check that out. So, get into the snapshot calendar, and if you're not familiar where that is, click on content on the blue bar at the top there. That'll bring you into course information on the left. Click on course information and boom, you're in. You'll find the snapshot calendar is up near the top of the course information for the course. So this week you're just getting your feet wet. Make sure you check out the essay 1 assignment. It's a really easy essay. Basically you're just writing a narrative about yourself, a certain situation about yourself. Most people are really familiar with themselves. And it's a narrative. So it's the most basic form of essay. I did that on purpose because you're kind of getting your sea legs in the course, and why challenge you with a really unusual essay you're not used to writing. Essay 2, a little more unusual. Nothing in here is really that out of left field, but essay 2 just basically takes the readings from John Perkins' book and then allows you to apply those to a real world event in relation to the media. So a little more involved than essay 1. But you don't need to worry about that right now. Essay 1, focus on that, get started on that, and your discussion 1 will definitely help you get into essay 1. So definitely do discussion 1 for week 1, and you're off and running for essay 1. Some other things to consider. We've got conferences. If you want to have a conference with me, feel free. I don't keep track of conferences. They don't really affect your grade in that way, but I'm here as often as you like to conference with you, so keep that in mind. And we have a couple textbooks this term. Easy Writing Step by Step by Longknife. It's a really good book to just give you the basics of writing. Then we have that book by Perkins just to have some material to write about. And then, of course, there's my mini lectures. This class has far more lectures and writing resources than like 90% of all online Writing 121 classes. So maybe it doesn't seem like it because they're my lectures, but my lectures are designed to take the place of a lecture in the classroom. And so there are a ton of materials to really get you started writing this term. They're kind of spaced out during the term as each week unfolds. And let's see, anything else I need to cover here in this intro? Let me just take a look at week 1 to make sure you're all good there. So we've got this instructor video at the top. Make sure you read the week one introduction. That's hard to say. Week 1 introduction. And then you'll get into introducing yourself. This time around, we've got a couple of discussions. One is just you're basically introducing yourself. And then the other, and then that self-introduction is a little bit different than usual. I purposefully tried to challenge you a little bit since it is a writing class. If you're in a math class, then it would just be a no-brainer introduction. But rather than just having you regurgitate the standard introductions that you're used to, I did put a little twist on it. And that's to get you thinking with your writing cap on, because otherwise you just automatically dash it out. And so make sure you do pay attention to the word count on that. If you write below the word count, you'd be penalized on your points. And just follow the directions, right? Rather than the typical introduction about your pets and your children and your classes you're taking and your job and even what you're studying at the college, I'm just trying to have you step outside those typical boxes for your introduction and write about something unique about yourself. Every person in here has interests and experiences that no one else has experienced in the class. It's not really very hard to do. In fact, don't knock yourself out trying to think of something really unusual or unique about yourself. Everybody has something unique, and it doesn't have to be super fantastic or super unusual, right? Just something unique. Just write about it. I'm just trying to get you started writing. Frankly, I'm not even checking up on you. So if you kind of use a little creative license on that, I really don't care, right? I'm just getting you writing. So that's the whole purpose of that introduction. I'm taking advantage of the introduction to really get you started writing with your writer's cap on, rather than just, it's not really about introducing yourself, frankly. It's more about writing. So think of it that way. Let's see what else. You're going to be watching a little video about John Perkins just to get you started. Some people don't have the books yet, so they're not too deep into that, although you will need easy writing skills step by step. And you can get that on Amazon.com, or you don't have to get it in the college bookstore if you don't want to, if you find it cheaper or whatever. But in closing my little lecture, I'll say that I chose the books for the class on purpose. I chose John Perkins basically just to get you writing about something, but also because it's very inexpensive, right? So I'm looking out for you for your wallets and your purses. I'm taking that into consideration with the textbooks. A lot of other instructors, they just pick a textbook based on the textbook without a lot of regard to the price, but I do consider that because I know you're already paying tuition and stuff. But it's worth remembering that the taxpayers are supplementing a lot of your tuition. So the cost that you're paying for being in this community college, really, it's not the cost of running the college. It's much more expensive. So the taxpayers are picking up quite a bit of that expense for you. So that's worth being grateful for, too. And of course, it's worth mentioning that the administration at the college, very, very large, right? Very expensive. Could it be less? That's up to you. I know a lot of private colleges run on maybe a small fraction of the administrators that our community college has. So a lot of that expense, unfortunately, for you, is something that you can't tangibly see. It's not paying me, that's for sure. It's paying a lot of pretty mid-level and high-level administrators that are expensive. Yeah, worth thinking about. But they certainly do things that are helpful. Question is, how many do you need? Well, administrations tend to keep growing, but that's kind of in line with the topic we're talking about. The same in government. Governments tend to keep wanting to grow too, right? So there's a point where you have to say, I wonder when that point is. And John Perkins will raise that this term. Now keep in mind that I've been a Democrat for more of my life. I started out as a Republican. I worked at the state capitol for the Republican Party, but then most of my life I've been a Democrat. I switched over, and then I kind of I'm just an independent. So I'm definitely not pushing. This class isn't about politics. This class is about writing, and this class is about, I happen to choose John Perkins, and his ideas apply equally to any political party that you might happen to belong to. Or maybe you don't like political parties, or maybe you don't like politics, right? Well, we could have been writing about cilia and sickle cell anemia, or something like that. I happen to choose economics because we all pay taxes. It affects all of us. So, I tried to just choose a topic to write about that would be interesting. And it isn't a political topic per se. It's far beyond politics. It's in a different circus tent from politics, right? Completely separate. It's really not about politics. And it's not about conspiracy theories either. Regardless of what you might read on Rate My Professors, my class is actually about taking some material and writing about it from a book by John Perkins, which is useful to get you started, put your writer's cap on. So anyway, it's great having you in the class. Thank you so much. Looking forward to working with you this term.